Hey everyone, good afternoon, good afternoon. As always, I hope this video finds you in good health and in good spirits. I wanted to talk a bit about the 48 laws of power today. Specifically, I want to talk about number 4, which is always say less than necessary. I think this is a really important one because the less you say, the more intimidating and the more powerful you are and you appear. Always say less than necessary. When you speak, make it vague and ambiguous, leaving the meaning to others to interpret. They'll be frustrated and obsessed with trying to figure you out. In the power game, appearance is everything. When you always say less than necessary, you come across as powerful, intimidating, and mysterious. Keep these principles in mind that when you're silent, you make other people uncomfortable because they dislike uncertainty. People want to know what you're thinking. When you control your words, they can't figure out what you mean or intend. And also, short answers and silence make people feel defensive. They quickly try to fill the silence and in the process reveal motivations and weakness. Information basically that you can use later. And they'll obsess over every word you said and its potential implications. The inordinate attention they give to your brief comments adds to your power. And in most instances, the less you say, the more important and profound it seems, the more mysterious you are. For example, Andy Warhol, he found that he had more power when he said little and kept his comments vague and ambiguous. Sometimes he made purposefully meaningful comments. Interviewers struggled to interpret what he meant, believing it to be profound. He learned from fellow artist Marcel Duchamp that the less he said about his work, the more people talked about it and the more desirable it became. Excuse me. Besides creating the impression of great importance, saying little avoids the risk of saying something foolish, which can definitely be costly. Here's an example. Back in the 1800s, there was a Russian rebel, and his name was Ryleev, and he talked too much, and he certainly paid for it literally with his life. He had been sentenced to death, and at the moment he was being hanged, the rope broke. And believing that he'd actually been pardoned, as usually would happen in such cases when the rope breaks, he yelled to the crowd that Russia couldn't get anything right, even the rope. So instead of pardoning him, they said, let's prove the contrary. And he was hanged the next day with the rope that held. So basically, he should have kept his mouth shut. He didn't learn his lesson. So yeah, there's one of the 48 laws of power that I think is definitely very helpful in many instances. All right, everyone, take care. Peace.